Well, hello, good morning YouTube. This is DIARIES here from Bangalore, and it's another day. It's been a long time that I had not been posting any videos. The Royal Enfield brand showroom Jayanagar had called me for this small ride which they are doing on their Himalayan BS4. I want to thank Bipin sir, Manoj, and the organizers Kritish, and there is one more guy. So I want to thank all of them for inviting me, actually, because I was also waiting to have a small idea or an experience about the Royal Enfield Himalayan, the BS4 version, because the BS3 version many of us are aware about. I can say one of the most spoken or controversial bike of 2017, where there had been a lot of headaches, there are a lot of problems which people faced all over, and after all that they have released the BS4 version from last couple of months, and here we are to have an experience of it. So yeah, almost arriving at the Royal Enfield showroom. It's just near to this flyover over here on the left hand side. It is a brand showroom. The Himalayans are lined up. So I got this white colored BS4 Himalayan. So let's go. The seating is totally different when compared to the standard, and yeah, throttle response is very crisp because of the FI engine. He is the pilot. So the main motto of this ride is known as the burnout ride, so that we can experience the road of the Bangalore, which is kind of an off-road nowadays. So how this bike performs in these conditions, that's what the main motto of this ride is. And as I said, it is organized by the Jayanagar showroom. We're gonna be taking left. Yeah, the acceleration is pretty good, and this bike is like 1,000 kilometers odd bike, so it's not a pretty new bike or something, and it feels good, even though I'm coming from a totally different bike, that's the standard 500, to a bike which is meant for both the off-roads and the proper roads. So it's a kind of a different experience for me as far as I'm concerned. And to all the viewers out there who are actually not a big fan of Royal Enfield, those are there to criticize this bike, let me tell you, this is my opinions, and my opinions will be up to me, that what I feel about the bike, because when you ride a bike, it's up to you that how do you feel and what do you want to do, or what kind of bike you're looking for. So it's always up to us that how do we like the bike. But frankly speaking, as a person coming from the Royal Enfield standard 500 to this particular bike, I feel this bike to be much more lighter Plus, yeah, it is good. I still remember when I had done a test ride of the BS3 Himalayan. At that time it was pretty hard. The refinement of the engine was a little harder, but in this case it's pretty good. See, other things about the mileage and stuff like that, it cannot be predicted with a 10 kilometers ride. So it would be foolishness to talk about such things. Whichever bike we ride, whether it is of any company or any make, it's always better to go and have a test ride by yourself rather than depending on any kind of videos or reviews, because what happens is we give our personal views on a certain bike, and as I said, it can differ from person to person at which bike you like, or how do you like the bike to behave, or what kind of bike you are looking for. So do not just depend on the video, because on the video so many things cannot be explained that what you feel or how it is. So it's always better to go and have a test ride and then understand. First of all, you make up your mind that which are bikes you want to test ride, and then go for a ride and then feel it yourself. Then if you think like your gut feeling ki I should go with this bike, then just go with it. So now we are at the Jayanagar. And this is a liquid cooled engine, if I'm not wrong. About the specifications you can definitely check out the description. Now the major changes in the BS4 is, I guess, the AHO plus the FI. Rather than that, there is no much big differences. So these are the indicators: the battery indicator, the fuel indicator, the north south, and the mode select. So many informations are there: trip A, odometer, a lot of things. How are you feeling?
Good.
Royal Enfield arranging something like this is actually better for the owners, actually.
We did more of a long ride of it.
Yeah, they are doing long rides also, to Ooty and stuff. So yeah guys, very good afternoon, and we are at the airlines hotel. We had completed a very fantastic 10 to 12 kilometer stretch ride from the Banarghata road, I can say the Jayanagar brand showroom, and I have right now the three owners of the Royal Enfield BS4 version. Here is Mr. your good name, that's what
Mohammed
I said,
Bilal.
Mohammed Bilal, and this is Kishore here, and Sagar. So these three guys are actually the owners of the BS4 Himalayan, and I just want to know their experience, what they had with this ride, as well as once they bought the bike as well. So your bike is like how many days old after you bought it?
I bought it maybe 12 days old.
12 days.
Yes.
So it's been 2 weeks, right? So now around 2 weeks, what is your experience with your bike? How do you feel?
I think
so this is the first Himalayan of your...
Yes, it's my first bike and it's the first Himalayan. I think for the roads of Bangalore, this is the best. I can ride fearlessly. The maneuvering, it's just amazing. You know, earlier when I had a moped Dio, I had a problem. You know, I need to drive slowly near the speed breakers, and when there is a pothole, you know, the whole journey was little fearful.
Yeah, and especially being in the Bangalore traffic, you cannot expect which pothole is going to come when.
Yes.
Even in the day, even in the night.
Yes.
And when you go the next day, you will find that a new pothole is born. So
Yes.
it is like that. And no offense to the BBMP, but this is how our Bangalore roads are. So how was the ride, this 12 kilometers?
In a one word to define, it was fun. It was just fun. It was flawless, and the whole experience was just amazing. You know, the places where people used to slow down, all I had to do was stand up on the bike and continue the same pace and enjoy the ride.
Oh, that's wonderful. So that was the experience of Mr. Adil and Kishore, right? So Kishore, he is actually from Kerala, Malayalam. So he's owning the bike since last 3 weeks, right? So 21 odd days. So he's owning the bike, and how was the experience basically?
So it was a pretty good, amazing.
Not about the ride I'm
experience.
asking about. How about the bike?
The
Where
bike
did
is
you
amazing.
go after all
So
this
the
busy?
first ride that I went to make it first service, I went to Kolar, Andargange. This place called Andargange. It's like a temple kind of place. But the ride, I just went in, like just cruised in like 60s, 70s and all that, because it was before first service. It was an amazing experience. I had a pillion rider, one of my friends, and we went there. We had a photo shoot kind, and we just came back. And I gave it out for first service. And after that, I took it for a spin in highways, and I touched 120s, 130s and all that. And I never felt any flaws.
People usually say that Royal Enfield cannot touch more than 110 kilometers per hour. Maybe the Himalayan has rewritten all those things, especially the BS4 version. So what is the top speed you have done?
I've done 130.
130, right? And how did the bike feel? Was it wobbling or any kind of issue?
I did not find any vibrations as such. It was pretty smooth, and
And how did you find the FI engine? FI is fuel injection. How is it? The throttle response is very
The
good?
throttle response is pretty good, and the clutch response is very nice. Compared to I've ridden, one of my friend has BS3 Himalayan. Compared to his bike, I find it's very refined, and it goes much more faster in that shorter period of time. Like from the 0 to 60, it's very fast.
That's some great news for the people, those who are actually planning to buy this bike. See, I'll tell you one thing. Me riding for 12 kilometers and giving you a review is actually I can say justified. It will not be justified, but people like them, those who are owning the bike and they've gone for longer rides, they speaking about the bike is much more better than I talk about it. And your good name? Sagar, right? You just come over here. So Sagar is from which place you said? Some Anandpur, yeah. So he had been owning the bike since last
since 15 days.
15 days. So how was the experience?
Actually, the thing is, the day I got the bike, I took it to the highway, Devnarli, and it was too balanced. The bike is very balanced, I say. I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can.
Which was your previous bike?
This is my first bike.
First
actually.
bike, okay.
But I had experience riding all the bikes with my in the friends circle. Okay. EFI version is damn smooth. I have my friend who own an BS3 version.
Okay.
So based upon his suggestions, he told me to go for this bike and trust me.
Oh, that's a great thing, yaar. BS3 wala suggested a BS4 Himalayan. Come on. That's great.
And being that he had an issue with it, he had an issue with the magnetic coils, and he told me that RE bikes has to be taken from day one every day. You need to have 5 minutes before you start your ride every day in the morning. You need to inspect it.
That's a great kind of suggestion for all of you new owners also.
Yeah. He educated me in a way that you need to take care of it. I did that. I didn't face any issue till today. I just completed only 4.
So that's great thing. And so it's like 3 weeks, 2 weeks and 15 days, all these people owning the bikes. Let me ask one very honest question. Anybody faced any kind of issue or any bad experience till now?
No.
It's too early. I know that 3 weeks is not the right time to give any kind of negative feedback. But as of now, the 1 hour or 1.5 hours which I was riding, I felt that the bike is very nimble. Being a lightweight bike, because I am coming from a standard 500cc bike, which is almost around 200 to 220 kgs. So from that to this Himalayan, it's totally a different story. The seating position from taking up to the city traffic, and even in the potholes or humps, it is pretty good. But again, it's all about personal choices what you make. Tomorrow if I get a chance, maybe a BS5 or BS6 version will be in 2020 or something, but maybe in the future I might go for a bike like this. Maybe I'm waiting for the 750cc Himalayan, which is on the cards, which I heard, I don't know, there is kind of prototype bikes of the Continental GT 750 also. So we are all waiting for that. I'll go for higher cc, because coming from a 500 going to 400 will not be suggested, right? So this was my short interview with the owners of the Royal Enfield Himalayan BS4 version. Probably in the future also I'll be making videos where I'll be sharing these people's experiences and other people's experiences as well. So guys, the trip was over. It felt really good. And now you cannot hear any kind of exhaust note because it is a stock silencer. Anyways, I hope you might have found the video useful, and this small short ride Plus my experience on the Himalayan BS4 was really excellent. As far as I'm concerned, this was my first time I had ridden any Himalayan for this much of kilometers. I had ridden one of my colleagues Himalayan, but it was hardly like 1.5 kilometers on the BS3 model. This BS4 model, we had been into city traffic, and I must say that the experience was really good. The engine refinement, there is a big thumbs up for all the engineers out there in Royal Enfield, those who have actually come up with a more refined engine. The only thing which I felt from first gear to second gear, which I had already mentioned in the video as well, that's not a big problem as far as I am concerned. But the overall experience of my bike was really good. So you might have seen that what was the experience of the new owners of the bike as well, those who have like the new one for the 3 or 2 weeks time period. So I hope you might have enjoyed the video. If yes, then definitely share this video with your friends. And those who are the new viewers out there, they can definitely subscribe to my channel and stay tuned and updated for the upcoming videos. We'll catch up soon with another new video, probably with something which is out of the box. So stay tuned, take care, bye bye, ride safe, be safe. This is Bullet Diaries signing off. See you again.